What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this video is a little bit different, but it's something that I wanted to do. I get a lot of questions about my saddle setup and what I'm using and how I'm carrying these things in and out. So basically what I want to do is I just want to give you guys a little rundown of the equipment that I'm using and why I'm using that specific product. I have no brand loyalty whatsoever. All of my decisions are made based off what fits my style the best and what actually is made to the profile of what I'm wanting to do with that particular product. First things first, my saddle is the tethered Ultra Lock. I switched to this saddle this year, and I've been running the tethered Phantom for the last couple years and loved that saddle, but I actually sustained a back injury several months back, almost a year ago now. Compressed a nerve in my lower spine and bulged the disc pretty bad, and for some reason that Phantom was giving me a little bit of discomfort right at my waistline, so I wanted something that would actually go up my back a little bit better, and I'm glad that I went with this. This saddle is like the Cadillac to me. I love the yoke system. These big integrated dump pouches that are on this saddle are really, really awesome. I love that they're rigid and you can easily open and close the zipper with one hand. They're super quiet too. If you take your time opening and closing these and don't just yank on them, they're really quiet and they don't protrude out past the sides of the saddle. So when you're like walking through brush and stuff, you're not hanging and they're pulling out to the side and getting caught up in everything. And they're massive. Like, they hold a bunch of stuff. And I love this saddle. I have really, really enjoyed it. And I have to say, coming from somebody that I started saddle hunting before saddle hunting was cool, I can honestly say that I've been in this for, I guess, 7 years now. And I started with a rock climbing harness and a sit drag that I ordered off of Amazon and some hunter's leftover safety rope from a hunter safety system and tied all my own ropes and stuff. And I can honestly say saddle hunting's come a long way in the time that I've been doing this. So it's been really neat to watch it evolve and change. But I love that Ultra Lock saddle. Now I know there's a lot of good saddles out there. I'm not saying this is the one you need to pick, but it is a really, really great setup. The system is well thought out, and it's super comfortable in the tree. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is my platform, and I'm actually going to pull this out of the pack for now, and I'll actually show that to you guys later. But this is the tethered Predator platform. This is the original version. I would go so far as to say that this is probably like one of the first runs they did, because I've had this thing for a long time. I want to say I've had this for 4, maybe 5 years. I ordered these when Tethered first came out with these. And the reason that I have stuck with it is for no other reason than the fact that it is squared off and narrow. The profile of this platform is why I've kept it. It's because I love the way that this fits into my pack. Some of the other saddles have more rounded out sides on them, and when my straps on my backpack come around the front and compress it, it makes it impossible for me to slide this in and out of my pack without undoing those buckles. But because of the way that I have my setup done, I can actually remove this saddle from my backpack, remove this platform from my backpack without ever taking my bag off. So when I walk into the woods, one thing that I'm adamant about is I like to walk up to the tree and be ready to climb. I never take my bag off from the time I leave the truck until the time that I'm actually hanging it on the hanger in the tree where it's going to sit the rest of the hunt. I never remove my bag. It's important to me. I know it's negligible, the amount of time that it saves by taking your bag off and undoing anything, but it just seems it's a little more clunky, extra steps that I've found are completely unnecessary, so I've just cut them out entirely. And I mean, truthfully, seconds really do add up to minutes, and I try to save them where I can. So that's the reason that I've stuck with this platform. It's got plenty of room for your feet. It really does. It's really lightweight, and it anchors to the tree super well. Now this is a rope that I made out of paracord, and it's just a long piece of paracord, and I did a little fancy weaving on the end of it to make it easier to feel on my shoulder. And what that does is this actually runs from my backpack over the shoulder strap of my bag, and there's a little spot on the shoulder strap of my backpack that holds this in place, and that allows me to actually reach this platform when it's behind my head. This hangs over. I can simply grab this rope and just pull this platform up out of the backpack, and it slides out, like I said, without ever having to take my pack off. And I love that setup. That is why I have kept this platform. Like I said, I have no brand allegiance. I just really like the profile of this because it's perfectly applicable to the way that I like to run my setup. Next thing on the list is my climbing sticks. These are also new to me this year, and these are the Trophy Line Hyper Lights. So these are new for Trophy Line as well. And I did a little bit of modification on mine. I changed the attachment method from the USA, the ultimate stick attachment method that Trophy Line comes with when you buy these, because I just wasn't a fan of that setup. And that's one thing I have to say, at least make a note of about your saddle setups, is if you don't like something, there's probably a way that you can change it to fit your style. Don't just disregard a product because you don't like a certain thing about it, if you can simply change that thing that you don't like. So there is a video, there's a short on my channel of how I connect these to the tree now, and that has changed it up for me entirely on these, because I was about ready to give up on them. I'm not gonna lie. I just couldn't get them tight to the tree, and I basically just changed that to fit my needs. I really, really like these sticks. I've been hunting with the tethered 1 sticks for several years now, and I loved them. I'm not knocking them in any capacity. I even bought a set of the Latitude Carbon SS's, and I really liked them too. I was just more comfortable with the 1 sticks because I had been using them for so long. But these essentially, I attached these very similar to the way that I did the 1 sticks. The big difference is the way that these stack. So the 1 sticks, they stack at an angle, whereas these stack completely in line, meaning that 1 stick doesn't protrude out further than the other, and on and on and on. So it takes up a smaller profile, and I get an extra stick with these. So these are, I have the 4 sticks as opposed to the 3, and I was running single step 8ers on my tethered 1 sticks, and moving to a 4th stick allowed me to get away from the 8ers, because that single step 8er on each stick, I had gotten so used to it that, it wasn't really a big deal for me. But I had had friends try to climb with those sticks and have a lot of trouble being able to get their foot in the loops and then plant their foot into the tree. And it just became a whole deal. And I wanted something a little more simplistic. That way, if I did have a buddy that I'm trying to teach or get into saddle hunting, I could really streamline the climbing process. And these Trophy Line sticks are sweet. They really are. I don't have any issues with flex on them. I'm 180 pounds, about 5'9", 5'10", and they hold me, support me plenty well enough. They don't make any noise walking in and out of the woods. They're pretty dead in the hand. You do have to be careful if you have like metal, like if you're wearing a watch in the stands or you're getting your bow close to these. I mean, they will ping like anything. I mean, you can probably hear that a little bit. But other than that, these have been just jam up sticks. They really are. They're awesome. And mostly I like the way that they pack on my backpack. Next thing is my rope setup. Guys, I'm not going to go through the trouble of digging my lineman's rope out too. Just know it's essentially the exact same as my tether. It just has a smaller loop on one end. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. But I ordered this rope off of Eastern Woods Outdoors. I think I ordered 25 feet of it, and it's just Rescue Tech. I want to say it's an 8mm or a 9mm rope. And then I ordered the cordage to make my Prusix off of there as well. And I cut and tied these myself at home. And I did that because obviously it just saves some money than over going with a manufacturer that already has done the work for you. You can cut the price nearly in half if you tie your own ropes. And I actually have a set of videos on my channel called the Beginner's Knot Tying Guide to Saddle Hunting. And I teach you how to make your own tether and lineman's rope. This is a little more lightweight than what I was using in the past. Obviously, it's not as bulky as a 10 millimeter rope, and to be completely honest with you, I can't really tell that big of a difference with it in my dump pouch of my saddle. I like this rope. It's a little more pliable than the 10 millimeter rope, which is nice because it kind of packs down a little flatter in that pouch. But as far as just weight saving or performance or anything, I can't tell that it's that much better than just going with a 10 millimeter rope. So something to keep in mind. Nothing overly fancy, just a plain old tether and lineman's rope that I made myself. And I ordered the rope from Eastern Woods Outdoors, and they had a really good price on it, and they kept it in stock, and their shipping was great. So if you do want to order some rope, check out Eastern Woods Outdoors and give them a shot first, because I know everything I've ordered from them has been quickly handled, and everything's gotten to me in a perfectly timely manner. Just check them out. All right, on to the pretty much final part of my saddle setup. This is my bag. Now, this is the Badlands Super Day Pack, and I've been using Badlands bags pretty much for the last, I guess, 5 or 6 years now, long before they had all the fancy models that they have now. But this is one of their original pack designs, I believe, and it is also by far my favorite saddle hunting pack ever. Hands down, bar none. It's not even close. The pocket layout on this is as close to perfect. I'll just say it is perfect. It is literally perfect for the way that I like to hunt from my saddle and the way that I like to set my stuff up. So this allows me, because of the strap location, to do like I was talking about earlier and never take my pack off until I'm in the tree ready to hunt. So basically what you have is you have a big main pocket here, has the option for a water bladder in it as well. You have a secondary pocket with a simple divider, and then you have a small pocket in the front where I like to keep like my grunt tube and stuff. But there's plenty of room in this pack, water bottle pockets on each side, and then you have the hip belt pockets, and it even has a built-in pistol holster in the waist belt. And I recommend, no matter what pack you get, make sure you get something that's got a good kidney belt, because taking the weight off of your shoulders and putting it onto your waist allows your legs to carry that weight. And when it comes to hunting a long distance from the truck, walking in on public land and stuff, that actually makes all the difference in the world. Trust me, the first year that I hunted out of a saddle, I didn't have a good pack system, and I immediately realized that was something that I needed to invest in, was a good pack. And Badlands has probably the best warranty I've ever heard of. It's a lifetime unconditional warranty. I reckon if you take this out there and you set fire to it and call Badlands and say, hey, I accidentally lit my pack on fire, I think they'll send you a new one. I mean, seriously, it's top notch. These kidney pockets are great too on the kidney belt, because this is where I keep my bow hanger, and I can access that, like I said, without having to take the pack off. So more or less what I do is I set my platform in these two front compression straps right here, but I keep them kind of loose, and that allows my platform to slide in and out without it being too tight. I can actually take this off, like I said, without taking the pack off. So these slides in like that. Now that is locked in there. It's not coming out. There's no way that this can come out of this backpack. It is completely secure, but it is also free enough. Here's my little rope I was showing you, that you can easily, when you're in a tree, pull that out like that. That is in the video that I recently did about how to hunt from a saddle. You can actually watch me use this setup from the start to finish of a climb, just exactly as I would to set up to hunt. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but I am going to show you guys how I put that in there, and it just simply sits like this. Okay, so this rope wraps over the arm strap of this backpack, and this bag has a little elastic loop right here already made into it. So it worked out perfect that I can just simply tuck that in that little elastic loop, and it holds it right there in place. And it doesn't ever come off, it stays there. And then when I get in the tree, I don't have to hunt for this rope or try to reach back there and grab it. It's literally right here. I don't have to try and fumble around or dig it out. This gave me enough of an extension to my platform that I can easily grab from right here and just pull this out. So I've had a lot of questions about this. People ask about it. I made this just an idea that I had one night laying in bed. I couldn't sleep. And while I was daydreaming about how I was going to set up my saddle setup, this is what I came up with. So the next morning, this was born. But it works great. You have the 2 bottom compression straps here on this pack. And I like to pack my sticks at the bottom as opposed to on the top because I can actually reach these straps very easily without taking my bag off. They're simply right at my waistline on my back, and it's very easy to reach around and grab these. So I keep these packed on the bottom like this. These straps I will cinch down pretty good just to keep everything nice and tight, and that's where this profile of these climbing sticks comes into play, is because they don't protrude. Because they stack in line, they don't angle out or stick out almost at all beyond the width of my body. So when I'm walking through the woods, my whole entire setup profile is as narrow as my actual body. So I don't have to consciously think about things that I'm walking through. Whereas if you have something that's big or protruding, like a climbing stand or just a saddle setup that your sticks are sticking out to the side, or you've got stuff bulky coming out on either side of you, you have to consciously think about the areas that you're walking into, because you don't want to hang up in brush and make a lot of noise, especially the closer that you're getting to bedding areas and such. So that's something to consider when you're building a saddle setup, is profile. And like I said, my loyalty doesn't lie with a brand. I choose the products because I like the design and the profile of them, and they fit into my setup. That is why I went with these sticks. So basically, this is it, guys. This is exactly how my setup looks wearing it on my, this is as it would be when I wear it on my back. And you can check out that How to Hunt from a Saddle video and actually see the whole process again and see how it works. This is it, guys. This is the whole setup. This is my Ultralock saddle, my Badlands Super Day 100 pack with my Predator platform, and my Trophy Line Hyperlight climbing sticks. This is the most simple, easy to use, lightweight, it's quiet, it's fast, it's efficient, and it's super streamlined. This is, bar none, in the 7 years of me hunting from a saddle, the best setup that I have found in that time. And I know products are constantly changing and new things are being developed, but as of right now, as it stands, this is, in my opinion, the best saddle setup out there. So I hope you guys will take the time to put your own setups together, build them. You can use my setup as a guideline. You can build the exact same thing, but take your time to find what you like best. That's the most important thing when it comes to your setup, is find what you like best. Find what fits your style the most and modify it to fit your needs. You know, this is just to give you some good considerations, some things that you might want to, that you might not have thought about when you were getting ready to build your saddle setup. So hopefully this video will help somebody. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, if you hadn't already, give the video a like. It really helps this channel to grow. It helps to make YouTube recommend the videos to more people. And, you know, we want to reach as many people as possible, help as many folks get into the sport as we can. Thank you guys. If you hadn't already, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.